1942, the world was at war. Nazi Germany and its allies were sweeping through Europe, and Japan was taking over the Pacific. The United States had just joined the war after being attacked by Japan at Pearl Harbor. The United States was fighting on both fronts, fighting the Germans in Europe and the Japanese in the Pacific. The development of an atomic bomb began in 1934 when the first nuclear fission is achieved by Italian chemist Enrico Fermi. Nuclear fission occurs when a neutron is fired into the nucleus of a uranium atom, which makes the atom unstable. The atom splits in half, causing a chain reaction and releasing an incredible amount of energy. It wasn't until 1939, however, that a scientist named Robert Oppenheimer realized the military possibilities of nuclear fission. In 1939, news reached America that the Nazis had split the atom and were developing an extremely powerful weapon. President Roosevelt realized that in order to combat the Germans, the U.S. would have to develop a bomb of its own, and in 1941 he established the Manhattan Project. Robert Oppenheimer became the project's director. Over the next 4 years, the Manhattan Project was carried out in secrecy. By 1945, the project had nearly 40 laboratories and factories, and employed approximately 200,000 people. Among these employees were some of the greatest scientists that have ever lived, including Albert Einstein, Enrico Fermi, Richard Feynman, Robert Oppenheimer, and Niels Bohr. In 1945, the Manhattan Project achieved its goal and created the world's first atomic bomb, codenamed Fat Boy. On July 16, 1945, the bomb was detonated in a remote desert near Los Alamos, New Mexico. The test's success led to the creation of 2 more atomic bombs that would be used in World War II, codenamed Fat Man and Little Boy. By the time the first atomic bomb was developed, Germany had already surrendered to the Allies, but the U.S. was still at war with Japan. President Roosevelt died on April 12, 1945, and Harry Truman became president, and the decision to drop the atomic bomb fell to him. After the Japanese refused to surrender, President Truman gave the order to drop an atomic bomb on the Japanese city of Hiroshima. On August 6, 1945, the American B-29 bomber known as the Enola Gay released the first atomic bomb to be used in warfare. The blast measured 3 miles in diameter and killed an estimated 90,000 people. Japan still refused to surrender, and 3 days later the U.S. dropped the second atomic bomb on Nagasaki. On September 2, 1945, Japan announced its formal surrender, bringing an end to World War II.